At the end of the day, the goals are simple: safety and security. It is because I agree with the former Connecticut Governor, Jody Rell, that I must affirm today's resolution result. In regards to public safety, the arrest of potential zombies is justified. The safety of the U.S. citizens is always the government's top priority, and to ignore the potential harm zombies could inflict is not only irresponsible, it is also criminal. I must provide the following definitions in support of my case. From the Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, zombie can be defined as the supernatural power that, according to voodoo belief, may enter into and reanimate a dead body or a willless and speechless human capable only of automatic movement, who is held to have died and been supernaturally reanimated. My opponent may try to offer a definition that shows the human potency of a zombie, but I ask you to reference back to my definition and remember that a zombie is nothing more than a lifeless body. I offer the following contentions in support of my case. Contention number 1, the outcome of a zombie attack is death. Contention number 2, a zombie transformation is absolute. Contention number 3, individual zombie prevention is essential to an apocalypse protection. Let's look at my first contention. The outcome of a zombie attack is death. Harvard psychiatrist Dr. Steven Schlotzman explains that the zombie virus basically gnaws the brain down to the amygdala, an almond-shaped structure responsible for the fight or flight response. The zombies always respond by fighting because another critical part of the brain, the ventromedial hypothalamus, which tells you when you've eaten enough, is broken. Through this evidence, we can understand zombie aggression. Even when humans act out in revenge or in anger, at some point the functioning brain of the human tells the individual to stop. The fact that zombies lack this human instinct shows how dangerous they are, in fact. Furthermore, a zombie is never full, their appetite is never satisfied. They seek human flesh and will not stop. They will find you and they will eat you until there is nothing left of you. This shows that humans have no fighting chance against zombies, and so identification and arrest is essential to human safety. My second contention is simply this: zombies' transformation is absolute. Once a human being has crossed into zombiedom, there is no miracle drug that can redeem the zombie's human qualities. A zombie may have been a human at one point, but if we refer back to my definition, we understand that a zombie is a lifeless shell of a human, not a human being itself. There is no recovery from zombie transformation, even in its early stages of infection. My opponent may try to show you that zombies are only dangerous at certain points of existence, and that may be true, but the fact of the matter is this: once a human is bitten, there is really no chance of recovery or survival. Eventually, this disgusting creature will transform into a flesh-eating dominator who ravages and destroys entire cities. This leads me to my third contention. Individual zombie prevention is essential to an apocalypse protection. If something is not done to prevent the pending doom of a zombie apocalypse, people will begin fleeing their homes, towns will be evacuated, and eventually whole cities will be left to be ruled by zombie leaders. While this analysis sounds extreme, we must consider what most people know about the zombie prevention. The Center for Disease Control identifies 4 steps in their zombie apocalypse prevention plan, and the 4th is: plan your evacuation route. When zombies are hungry, they won't stop until they get food, which means you need to get out of town fast. Plan where you would go and multiple routes you would take ahead of time so that the flesh eaters don't have a chance. If every citizen has this mentality and this approach to zombie prevention, then we are simply handing these cities to these malicious creatures and running until they can find us in their next hiding place. The government and its citizens must be proactive. They must identify this horrific creature before they progress to their harmful potential, and they must be arrested before their infectious disease permeates the entire United States. If you care about your country and your fellow patriots, you will do whatever it is necessary to ensure the safety for them, and you will vote affirmative to have these despicable creatures arrested and off our streets.
Justice cannot be for one side alone, but must be for both. It is because I agree with this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that I must negate the following resolution. Resolved, in regards to public safety, the arrest of potential zombies is justified. First, it is essential that I make the following observation about zombies. Though the process of zombification results in non-human being, We cannot forget that at a zombie's core is human, an American citizen that once existed. It is because a part of them is human that we must honor zombies at the utmost level of justice, no different from those non-zombies entities. I will support my position with the following contentions. Contention 1. The term potential is not enough to warrant government intervention. Contention 2. Due process is a pillar of our Constitution. Contention 3. There are less invasive ways that citizens can protect themselves against the threat of zombies. Contention 1. The term potential is not enough to warrant government intervention. Just because an individual has potential to commit an act does not mean they will, and it certainly does not justify arrest. The 16-year-old might not have potential to play Major League Baseball, but that doesn't guarantee that he'll make it to that level, and it certainly doesn't mean that we should pay him a big league salary based on that potential. Why? Because he hasn't proven he deserves it. Potential is different from proof. Potential for committing an act of violence does not warrant the same consequences as actually committing an act of violence. Our legal system supports the idea of imminent danger, which refers to an immediate threat of harm. However, based on zombie transformation process, there is not necessarily an immediate threat. Therefore, the law of imminent danger is not applicable to the justification of zombie arrests. Contention 2. Due process is a pillar of our Constitution. Due process requires that fair legal procedures are carried out. Since it has already been determined that there is not necessarily imminent danger at all points in the zombie transformation, an arrest would certainly violate the law of due process. By arresting entities without direct and immediate harm or threat, this opens the door to a future where other personal rights violations may be justified. This is a slippery slope for society to endure. Once we condone arresting one entity without a cause, who knows when it would stop? People of Middle Eastern descent, for example, have already experienced an increased level of scrutiny. The last thing we need is to start loosening the strings in regards to proper, fair legal procedure. Contention 3. There are other less invasive ways that citizens can protect themselves against the threat of zombies. No one can deny that zombies might pose a threat to individuals. However, this still does not justify the arrest of these entities. There are other ways that citizens can seek asylum for these brain-thirsty humans of old. People should take personal measures to protect themselves, not rely solely on the government to carry protection measures. According to the CDC, the zombie apocalypse can be avoided by carrying very similar procedures as one seeks safety from natural disaster. Additionally, according to an August 17, 2012 article in The Economist, architects are currently competing to design a zombie-safe home. Australian architect Warwick Mihaly explains the core elements. A zombie-proof house needs to be secure, not only structurally strong, but also with limited openings in its perimeter that are all closable, lockable, and impenetrable, he says. He adds that it needs to be simple and sustainable, capable of generating its own energy, food, and water, and of managing its waste. We have tools to survive zombie attack without violating our personal rights. We just need to put these tools into use. Under this lens, a zombie invasion is actually promoting innovation and progression toward an improved, more secure, more sustainable infrastructure. Isn't that what America is all about? It is because of these contentions that I strongly urge a vote in negation of today's resolution. Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. Do you agree that once a human is infected by a zombie, it is permanent, the infection?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Isn't it true that the safety of the United States citizens is top priority to the government?
Top priority over violating the rights of its citizens?
Don't you agree that a zombie isn't necessarily a citizen anymore because it's a lifeless, humanless body? It once was a human, but once it's infected, it is a zombie now?
No, I would still consider it a citizen.
Okay, can you please explain that to me?
Because it formed from that citizen.
Okay, yes, but we just agreed that once the human is infected, it is a zombie now. It once was a human, but now the zombie is a lifeless human. It's just taken the human's body, not necessarily the human itself. Don't you agree?
I think the human's body is what makes it a citizen, not necessarily the creature inhabiting it.
Isn't a zombie attack dangerous for the victim?
Yes.
Okay, so as we both agreed that it's one of the government's top priority to protect its citizens. So if the zombies are hurting the citizens, shouldn't the government be trying to protect these citizens from the zombies?
Yes, but let me answer.
Okay, thank you.
Let me answer your question with another question of my own, if I may.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you agree that an attack using, a gun would be dangerous to citizens?
I agree that attack is dangerous with a gun. That's why we have
we go around?
laws. Can I please finish, please? Thank you. That's why we have laws that you have to go through, paperwork and stuff like that to have a gun. You don't just get handed a gun, you don't just go and buy a gun. You have to get like a permit to have that. Don't you agree?
I agree, but that being
Okay.
said, we don't go around profiling anyone who owns a gun. We don't consider them a potential threat to commit a
Can
commit a
you
crime.
give me more examples on how you would protect us from zombies other than arresting them? If you can't, that's fine. I'll just go on.
No, I can't do that. Sorry.
Okay. So, don't you agree that a zombie won't stop until it gets what it wants?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't you also agree that the zombie will not stop until he gets you? So our citizens are never safe unless we have the zombies arrested, because if we go into a safe home, are we just going to stay in the safe home the rest of our lives? Yes?
Sure.
What about food? What about food? What if our food supply runs out?
We'll have to go get more.
Then we get, but then we risk getting attacked by a zombie because the zombie doesn't stop. Is that true?
I think we'll have to have some sort of technological and agricultural advancements to.
Okay, well, if we know that, won't the zombies eventually find that?
Aren't zombies lifeless bodies, though? Are they capable of thought?
I don't know. Apparently, they're capable of being citizens. Isn't that true?
That doesn't mean they're capable of thought.
Okay. We aren't being timed. No. So I think that's good. Thank you.
To echo my partner, at the end of the day, the goals are simple: safety and security. It is the government's main job to protect its citizens, and my opponents believe that zombies are citizens. That is the basis of their whole contention, their whole case. And they have also conceded the fact that zombies are lifeless bodies. And the United States does not protect things that do not have life. We define life maybe beginning at conception anywhere into the pregnancy, but we have to define where life ends. And life ends at death, not in the afterlife of zombiedom. Therefore, we cannot give zombies the same rights that we afford to other citizens because they are not living things and they do not earn rights from the United States of America. And to attack my opponent's first contention, with zombie transformation, there is no either or. When the zombification process begins, there is only one result, and that is an imminent danger to society. My opponents believe that if you have a zombie, they may not attack you very soon, so you're not in an immediate threat of harm. But, like my partner said in our second contention, a zombie transformation is absolute. There is no going back. Once you have a zombie, there is always that potential for harm because, like we said in our definition of a zombie, their only goal is to attack humans, and because of their food source being the brains and other body parts of human beings. And the fact that zombie infection is permanent is enough reason to believe that harm can be committed in the future by these zombie beings. Their second contention about the right of due process, I've already explained that they are not afforded any rights because they are not citizens. My opponents are right that due process is a fundamental principle of American society and law and order, but those entities involve citizens of the United States. The United States does not have jurisdiction over non-living creatures from the underworld of hell and all sorts of wherever the zombies come from. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But the safety of citizens is the most important issue in today's debate. And that leads into their third contention. They believe that there are less harsh methods that we can use to deal with the zombies. And my partner in the cross-examination session has shown the ignorance of my opponents to a future in which zombies are not preemptively attacked. They believe that we can just shelter ourselves in some modern-day hole-in-the-wall environmental houses that can protect us from zombie attacks. But the zombies will get us eventually. They can eat through ground, I believe. They will be able to eat through the metal, and we will still not be safe. Plus the fact that our food source will be diminishing, and we will not be able to risk the outside world. And that is why I urge you to vote with the affirmative in today's debate.
As my opponents have stated, that we need to arrest zombies and make them register, as they said. Well, that's not what we need to do. They're citizens of America, and they deserve the rights that all citizens of America enjoy. In their second contention, they said that the transformation was absolute and that there is no cure. But as we have stated, zombies have pushed human progress into making new houses. What says that they can't push us to make a cure, or at least a vaccine to prevent more people from becoming zombies? As they said, I don't know if my opponents know this, but there are 5 diseases that, diseases that could be mistaken for zombieism. There are 5. So what says that you aren't mistaking people that have these 5 diseases as zombies? You will be wrongly imprisoning people that do not deserve to be imprisoned, that are actual, that everybody is a human citizen. And I'm going to start. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Since I'm the first speaker, I have the first question.
Yes, you can.
Do you know of any cures for things that are caused by voodoo and not traditional illnesses?
Well, no, but can you prove that illnesses are caused by voodoo?
Mr. George.
Do you know how many people suffer from the 5 diseases that you mentioned?
No, but these are very common diseases.
Oh, are you sure they're very common?
Yeah, very. They're much more common than zombieism.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Do you agree that zombies will not stop until they have eaten human flesh and organs?
Well, I personally don't know if they will stop or not. I'm not an expert on zombies.
All right, but there is an expert from the university, or from Harvard University, that says that. So do you agree with him?
What?
We quoted him. We quoted him in our first contention. If you were paying attention,
I wasn't. But he may be an expert, but doesn't mean I agree with him. Experts have known to be wrong.
All right. Do you believe that the United States is, or that non-living things are in the jurisdiction of the United States?
Well, what do you mean jurisdiction? They're under the protection of the United States?
Yes, and
Well,
that
yes.
have to undergo the processes of law and order.
Well, I don't think they have to go under the processes of law and order, but we protect many non-living things. Like buildings, stuff like that.
Do buildings have the potential to harm humans?
If they fall down, yeah.
Yes, they do have the potential to harm humans, and don't we regulate the construction of buildings?
Yes, but...
So shouldn't we also regulate the process of zombification and arrest those people that are suffering it?
No, because people are still citizens of America. The building is not a citizen. You may regulate how the buildings are made, but you don't regulate people.
What was your definition for zombies again?
Through the process of zombification results in a non-human being. We cannot forget. Oh, never mind. Results in a
non-human being. So does the United States government afford non-human beings the same rights as human citizens?
No, it does not.
All right. Thank you.
I'm going to roadmap my rebuttal. I'm going to first start by rebuilding my case, but I just want to point out that they really haven't attacked my case, so I'm just rebuilding it further. And then I'm going to attack their case. In my first contention, I use evidence from Dr. Steven Schulzman that states that zombies are relentless. They do not stop until they get what they want, which is human flesh. In my opinion, there is no attacking this contention. If the citizens' lives are at stake, the government should do everything in its power to prevent this from occurring. My second, and they have not attacked that, so that contention stands. My second contention is clear and right to the point. No matter what my opponent states, these zombies are forever zombies. They might have once been humans, but once they are infected, they only want one thing, and that is our citizens' death. Now, my third contention, I stress the fact that the government needs to be proactive and arrest these creatures because they don't stop until they find you. No matter where you hide, they will find you and they will kill you. Okay, now I'm going to attack their case. Their first contention states that potential is not enough to warrant government intervention. This debate boils down to the safety of our citizens, and they were saying that zombies are humans still, but in the last crossfire between my opponent and my partner, my opponent agreed that zombies aren't human. He said it right there. So if they're not human, then they don't have those rights. So their first contention does not stand. Their second contention is due process is a pillar of our Constitution. I agree completely, but like my opponent, agreed with us, zombies aren't human, so that contention doesn't stand either. And in his third contention, he says that there are less invasive ways. Like I said in my speech, zombies never stop until they get what they want. It's time. But they don't stop until they get what they want. So doing any invasive things other than extermination immediately would not help at all. So that's why you should affirm the resolution today.
My opponent tries to paint zombies as ugly, malicious beings. But just like corporations, zombies are people, my friends. Because their bodies are not physically dead, they are still citizens. They remain citizens until their physical bodies are lifeless and are in the ground. And therefore they must be protected like everyday citizens are. The United States does not practice a policy of preventative action against citizens. We do not go out and arrest people because we suspect them of being about to commit a crime. We only arrest people when they have committed a crime. In my opponent's first contention, they say that the outcome of zombie attacks is always death. And that doesn't always necessarily have to be true. Stranger things have happened. I think we are fully capable of surviving zombie attacks, whether it be by fighting back or running away. We have the potential to escape a zombie attack, and, all right. In my opponent's second contention, they say that zombie transformation is absolute and there is no cure. And to that I have to say, there is no cure yet. Like I said in one of my contentions, zombies encourage innovation, and as we know, humans have always been people to innovate and create new things. So what's to say we'll never find a cure for zombie transformation? And under their third contention, they say zombie prevention must be proactive, and like I said before, that is not the United States policy. To rebuild on my contentions, in my first contention I said the term potential is not enough to warrant government intervention. Like I said before, we don't arrest people we suspect them that they're about to commit a crime. We only arrest them when they have committed a crime. And that goes into my contention, too, that due process is a pillar of our Constitution. What does our country stand for if we no longer give these citizens process that they are provided by the Constitution? And like I said in my third contention, zombies encourage innovation, and that would only make us all better off in the long run if we were able to innovate.
Since we're the first speakers, bring up the first question. All right. If a person walked into this room right now with a gun that's potentially loaded and threatens us that he is about to shoot, is there not the right for the government to arrest that person? You got this one?
Yes, but is it legal for him to have that gun in here in the first place?
That is besides the point. Zombies, do you agree that zombies are a loaded weapon in the hands of a lunatic? Metaphorically speaking.
No.
You don't?
Okay.
Is it a crime to be a zombie?
We believe it should be.
But is it?
If the zombie, like we say in our speech, we say that zombies are dangerous because they don't stop till they get what they want, which is human. So if they attack any human, then it is a crime to be a zombie. Thank you.
Isn't it a crime to attack a human?
Yes.
So not to be a zombie? I don't know.
It's a crime if they attack the human.
But isn't it a crime if I punch Tyler? If I attack Tyler, that's still a crime too, right?
Okay.
So just because they're zombies doesn't make it a crime.
Should we arrest him for considering punching me in the face?
He has choices to make between punching you or not punching you. Zombies do not have brains. They will only punch you, rather, or eat you, because punching is just a metaphor. They will eat you until you... we had some great imagery in my but until your
They gnaw your brains
lifeless,
out.
Sure.
They gnaw your brains out.
All right.
Do you guys have any questions?
We'll let you guys keep going.
What do you believe causes zombification?
I'm sorry. One more.
What do you believe causes zombification?
What do you believe causes zombification?
Evil magic. You believe, it seems, that diseases are the cause of zombification and that there is then a cure for these diseases which will result in non-zombie life forms. But do you believe that there is any cure for black magic being enacted upon someone?
What if we found good magic?
That is plausible. I will
Just being smart.
impress about it.
Is that another question?
Have we ever tried to negotiate with zombies and ask them not to eat our brains?
Like we said, they are speechless. We said that in our in my opening speech. So that's not possible. Yes, we did.
Speechless. Yeah.
Speechless.
Fine.
This case comes down to 3 points. First, zombies are not humans. As we said in our definition, zombies are just reanimated beings. They are not human beings, and they're not living beings. They have been possessed by an evil spirit to allow them to move around, but yet they are still incapable of speech or free will, as we mentioned in our definition. There is no way we can negotiate with zombies or really do anything with zombies besides exterminate them. Secondly, zombies are a clear and present danger. My opponents keep sticking to this idealistic belief that zombies will not attack us even if they're zombies. Like we have said numerous times in our case today, zombies will not stop until they eat every single one of you and your parents and your siblings and your pets and I think they like pets too. They're not limited to a human diet, and they will destroy everything that you know and love about this great earth. Finally, zombies do not have the rights and protections of the United States government which we afford to citizens, primarily because they are not humans, but also because they represent a strong threat to real citizens who are living, breathing human beings. And that is why I believe you, in the interest of the future of human life on this planet, should side with the affirmative in today's resolution. Thank you.
So I'm going to start by rebuilding my own case. In our first contention, we said potential is not enough to warrant government intervention, which it's not. Like my partner said, if you don't arrest somebody for thinking about committing a crime, you arrest them for committing a crime. Our third contention said that there are less invasive ways, and which I completely agree with. As we've stated, zombies have pushed humanity to re-engineer and have pushed them to innovation, which I believe is true. My opponents say that zombieism is caused by black magic, but can they prove that? I mean, black magic, but if nobody really knows what causes zombieism, but if the diseases that we think cause it can be prevented, zombies will push us towards the prevention of that. And as I stated earlier, there are diseases that people show signs of zombieism but still are not zombies. This can be mistaken, and innocent people can be imprisoned in jail for no reason, which is frowned upon in America. And that's why I must urge you to negate today's resolution.